they established a base at once they took over the port. And then what's called the Louisiana Territory became the protectorate of France, right? And when they sold the Port of Nola to the English, they sold the protectorate rights. They wasn't supposed to be exchangeable in that form of exchange without the consent of the people of the land. But after they done got their ass kicked in Haiti, they get their ass kicked in Detroit. Now they gotta go. And that's when they built the Eiffel Tower, and they sent us the Statue of Liberty, so we know we was fighting drag queens, and that it was in Paris where
Who
the
ain't we fighting drag queens?
Oh, I'm so sick of fighting them SOBs.
I'm tired, baby. I'm tired. I'm telling you, I'm tired.
Truthfully speaking, when I was younger, it used to be funny to watch the drag shows. Right? They had a little channel.
They had drag shows when you were younger?
Yeah. I don't remember a time when they didn't have drag shows.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, yeah. In Michigan?
In Chicago, Detroit. They used to be all over the place.
What?
Yeah.
Now we have stories in East St. Louis of like a couple people that were like gay and all that stuff. And then like it was questionable, but we never had like, I don't know of like anybody talking about like drag queens.
Yeah, well, I've been all over the country so many times. I've been exposed to all of the underbelly. You know, Pac say my family tree is filled with drug dealers, thugs, and killers.
Yeah, but like, so that wasn't just in California; it was everywhere.
No, they in New York. New York had drag shows. Drag shows, it wasn't a prerequisite for you to give up your sexuality as a man to do a drag show. That became a later advent, where the drag shows go all the way back to Kabuki theater in Japan. Mm-hmm. In Kabuki theater, women weren't allowed to be entertainers. So all of the roles in Kabuki theater was played by men, and men dressed in drag. So the drag queens is nothing new.
Somebody said Kansas City had them too. Wait, hold up. It's new to me. Hold on, man. Hold on.
It was the premier form of entertainment. Yeah. Minstrel shows used to have whole drag performances in minstrel shows.
What? I'm like, what? Wait, how long ago was this? Because I'm confused. This was like the 70s?
When you talk about minstrel shows, you're talking about 15, 16, 1700s. The Star Spangled Banner was...
Shit, I'm thinking I'm finding out in the early 1900s.
Look, half of them pictures that they keep telling you is English queens is drag queens.
Oh, I know that. I found that out. I definitely found that out.
Yeah. Look, I got a post I put up back in 2019 saying it got a picture of a drag queen, and it says it's a drag race chasing seahorses across the land.
Oh, I heard all the Queen Elizabeths were men. Like,
I don't know if all of them was, but a lot of the people that they put in prominent power positions that they telling you is women is actually drag queens.
I know Victoria's Secret is that they men, so I don't know. I know that for a fact.
Yeah. That was also a part of the gentry. Those were the ones that they called gentlemen. There was a specific group of the gentry called gentlemen that was the boy lover of kings.
And that's their thing, though. That's their thing.
Yeah, that's all of that Roman culture of Europe. You gotta remember, Rome expanded, then it broke up and became several different empires. The Ottoman Empire, the Prussian Empire, the Macedonian Empire. All of those were different aspects of Roman culture all over Europe. That wasn't...
They had Transformers everywhere, and then somebody said Shakespeare plays were all men. What? Y'all is, wait, hold up. I thought I knew a lot. Y'all is over here like really devastating me right now. Wait,
Look, and then Shakespeare stole all of his stories from a sister.
My head hurt.
All of the Shakespearean writings a sister wrote.
But they were all performing as men, loving on men.
Yeah, that was Roman culture. Look, Roman culture was so hyper homosexualized that the women had to dress up like a boy on their wedding night, or they men couldn't get an erection. This is known Roman culture. If you go to Italy right now and you look around at the statuary, it's a bunch of grown men with naked little boys with them all over the place.
Now, I know that because the old Bibles, okay, I'm going to tell you this much. I remember when I was like 5 and I opened up that big white Bible with gold lining.
Yeah, the family Bible. That was the family Bible.
Yeah, it was art of like men and little boys and they little balls and little penises, little ones, by the way. And I can picture it as if it was yesterday. Like, that's something I never forgot. And I always wondered, this is the Bible? And Mom used to be like, don't look at this part and skip it. And I used to be like, why do we need to worship this though?
Look, I had read a book that blew my mind when I was in my early studies. I can't remember the exact name, but it was something like the X-rated Bible or the Bible.
What? X-rated Bible?
It talk about all of the freaky shit in the Bible.
Oh my God. No.
Yeah, but see, people don't realize this is something that we lose in modern. This is every modern.
Right now, because baby, what? I don't even smoke. Hold up, I need some weed. No. Shit.
Hey, look, you don't remember in the Bible they was telling the story about David and Jonathan, and then Saul was Jonathan's father, and they finally tricked David to come to the family dinner. And when his father Saul seen King David, he wasn't the king yet. He seen him at the family dinner. He picked his javelin spear up and slung it at David and said that vile and wretched thing that you and Jonathan do to defile the nakedness of his mother, you blasphemous. He was at David. That's what him and Saul fell out about, his relationship with David, with Jonathan.
Go back and read the Bible because this is very entertaining.
Look, if you don't take the Bible to be the word of God and you just take it as a book, it got some of the best.
Oh my God, I need to go. This is a soap opera story because child, what?
Yeah.
I know you fucking lie.
I ain't lying. He hurled that javelin at David. He tried to kill David's ass. So David and Jonathan having secret rendezvous, right? And this is how they alert each other. David hiding out in the wilderness. Jonathan go down there with the bow and arrow, and he got a signature arrow to signal David when he get there. He shoot the arrow out, and when David see the arrow with Jonathan's signature on it, he know that it's safe to come out because Jonathan there, right? So then it say in the Bible that when they seen each other, David hurled himself up on Jonathan and kissed him up on his mouth. And then in another part, it's saying the love that David had for Jonathan exceeded that of the love of a man for a woman.
He ain't wrong for his shows and stories and movies because he really acting out the Bible for real. And he really not material from the Bible and the religion. He really acting out some shows. Okay, let's
dig a little deeper with this. The Pope. The position of the Pope is the sacred.
I'm learning some new shit right now. And this shit is fucking me up. I gotta get some wine. Cause child, what?
Look, the Pope is
the
when
chimed in on this live right now, cause ma'am, tap in, cause ma'am,
look,
you been making me read this stuff.
If you go back to the history of the Catholic Church before it was Christianized, it was a sacerdotal seat of a matriarchal regime of the Delphi priestesses known as the daughters of Isis. And the sacerdotal seat was set on by the Divine Mother, christened as the incarnation of Isis. Well, when they usurped the throne, remember the Pope sit under Big Mama seat. Supplanter, underminer, Jacobin. So the Pope dressed like a woman. Them not no men gowns he wearing. Those are women's ceremonial robes.
Facts.
He wearing dresses. He's a drag queen anyway. All of the cardinals are supposed to be women. That's why they dressed in red. That was the women. All of those are women's stuff that they took. And then the women are supposed to wear the white. They dressed them in black and they called them nuns.
Wow.
Named after the Egyptian term for the primordial waters of creation, the sacred noon.
This shit deep and sick.
Look,
motherfucker.
When these so-called guys got jealous of the divine feminine on earth, they went crazy.
I see. To the point, like they didn't care.
They were
like,
totally crazy. You hear me, Drea? They tried to be women. They tried to have babies, and all they could do was shit a turd.
And they still trying to have babies.
Look, and all they can do is shit a turd. Every time they try to make a baby, they come up with a turd. They don't do nothing but shit. Yeah, but it go all the way back to the war in heaven. Everybody know about the war in heaven, but don't nobody know what it was about.
Well, go ahead and acknowledge, like tell the knowledge on it, please.
So
because
this is what
I got some Christians on my page, and you know this is tagged on my page. Please let them know how sick this shit go, because baby, I'm even surprised right now. Keep going.
So the Orianos, or the place they call in heaven, is Nibiru. And Nibiru is, when it's in close orbit, they send delegations back and forth to Earth. So Enlil, he is a patriarch, and he is the controller of what's called restricted will universes. That means that you can't do what you want to do. If he didn't get an order, you can't do it. The same as Yahweh, because that's the same person.
Okay.
All right, now, Earth was being governed by Prince Ea, Ea being one of the names of Earth. Mm-hmm. The prince of the Earth, named Ea, was the one we call Enki, which was a later name given to him when Earth's name was changed from Ea to Kai.
Okay.
En means Lord, right? So he was married to Inanna. Reference book, Inanna Returns and Inanna Hyperluminal, if you want to go more into it. But they called for a family dinner. Enlil tells their father, Anu, that he wanted to add Earth to his restricted will environments. And he told him that Earth was a matriarchal planet and is controlled by mitochondria. You can add it to a restricted will universe as part of the free will systems based off the instructions of Prime Creator. Mm-hmm. He said, if I win it in military conquest, then by the laws of the gods, I'm justified in taking control. And he said the Y chromosome is better than the X chromosome anyway, and mitochondria shouldn't be able to rule anything. So Anu started laughing at him because he was calling him his foolish child. My foolish child, you do not understand the power of the mitochondria and the divine feminine, because without the divine feminine, Inanna intervenes. Mm-hmm. She tells him, I tell you what, if you think you can take it, pap your girds, squat down, and push me out a baby, male or female, it do not matter, but have it from the loins of your loins, like I dropped mine of flesh of my flesh. He got mad, and he said, I'm gonna make a man that can produce a child. This is where they came up with the Eve being taken from Adam Rhea bullshit from.
And they still trying to do it.
They still trying to do it, and they've been unsuccessful for the last 6,000 years of creating a natural-born male capable of birthing a child.
Okay, keep going.
So when he got in the argument with Ainana, one of the guards was best friends with their son, Nenegazita, who became Thoth.
Mm-hmm.
He sent telepathic message to Nenegazita, Uncle Enlil is about to seize power of the Earth realm.
Mm-hmm.
And Nenegazita's like, the fuck he is. He got to get past Mom and Pops. He got to get past Ainana, and he got to get past Enki. Then he got to face me. Ain't no way he finna try that, because the obstacle is insurmountable. And by that time, Nenegazita starts to organize a resistance to defend Earth. So he go to his brother, the one that they call Marduk, not his cousin Marduk, that's often confused because Enlil named his son Marduk to replace Enki's son Marduk.
Okay.
Enki's son Marduk was a righteous ruler in Kemet, as Amun-Ra.
Mm-hmm.
But his rule was up, so he was paving the way for the next rulership, which was supposed to have been coming in as Tutankhamun. Okay. The next of the guys in line to rule. And Tutankhamun's reign as an Aten priest was interrupted by the Amun priests, who was the original followers of Amun-Ra. Then they was part of the contingents of gods that wanted the gods to stay concealed from man, even while they walked amongst men.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Aten priests wanted the gods to be known to the people so that they can know who to come to solve problems, because that's their only purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the priest wars broke out in the 18th dynasty that usurped Tut's rule. So now the Amun priest is ruling in place of the Aten, meaning the gods that needs to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
So when this take place, the priest wars, the moon priests attacked Helen, who went to settle Greece, set up Romulus and Remus as Etruscans, and established Rome. The Greek language was written by Egyptian priestesses who was teaching higher education to Europeans who had been exiled from the breeding experiment of Enlil and his son Ninursin, and he got another son. They was all in on the genetic, trying to create a genetic male that could produce females. And they was also, and they was at the same time, they was trying to produce workers, slaves that they could produce in mass production. And this is when they start tampering with the genetics. So the war in heaven landed on earth over a gender dispute at the royal house. In the third contingent, you know how they say Lucifer left with a third of the angels?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was 3 rulers, right? The one who governed the sky was Enlil, Lord of the sky with the booming voice. En mean Lord. Lil is a reference to the sky, but it's the sonic boom that it's making reference to, which is also referred to as the voice of many waters, right? The booming voice. So it's the application of Husia in Kemet, which is authoritative utterance with the exceptional insight of a fully activated throat chakra. Enki, on the other hand, he was the male ruler of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
He was the great father to earth.
Mm-hmm.
And then the heir to the earth was Isis, and the one who holds the sacerdotal Isis seat is the mother of the earth, and they incarnate every 26,000 years to coincide with the return of Nibiru. So the war in heaven that landed on earth, so they said that Michael and his angels warred with Satan and his angels. Satan is Lord Set or Lord Seth. Go back to Genesis, and the replacement for the loss of Abel was Seth.
Mm-hmm.
Seth is a replacement. He's not the original. He's the interloper into the bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
This was Enlil taking the rulership of Egypt from Enki, who was Usir or Osiris, the great father, right?
Mm-hmm.
Represented as the Orion constellation in the sky, the great Orionos,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they call him Father Sky, and they call Isis Mother Earth. And then you have her daughters, which governs the 7 earth principles, what we call them the Hermetic principles, which gives us the agreement of the realm that manifested off the divine feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So all of these demons that was cast down, which was in Enlil's army that came to attack and take over Earth, lost. We won, they lost. Now, at the end of the cycle, everybody has to be informed enough to understand what's taking place. This is why they're doing this disclosure in D.C. right now, to let everybody know that the United States government and all governments of the earth is interacting with governments from other places that's non-earth or non-terrestrial.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some people, flat earthers, if you're a flat earther, then look at them as from another dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you're a round earther, look at them as an extraterrestrial.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the hollow earthers believe they interterrestrials coming from the core of the earth. But no matter which one they believe, there's somebody here that don't normally be here that's about to show up in mass and force. So they have to give us the disclosure in D.C. under the false pretense of Senate hearings. That's not really Senate hearings, but open leaks.
Yeah.
This is how we tell you what's taking place.
Yeah.
Right? So if you go to the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, right, you see Thoth say, I got a call from my father who told